June is known as the wedding month, and as I've DJ'd a lot of weddings, I can tell you what, there's a lot of things that can go wrong.
Yes, June is wedding month, and here in a few weeks it'll be our anniversary. How many years?
74.
No.
31.
Very good. Very good. Yes, the other day you asked the question on your question of the day about weddings and have they gotten out of hand, and I think somebody heard that and it made them think to ask me some questions about wedding insurance, because it is a thing to get wedding insurance. And so I thought we would talk about some things that can go wrong and why wedding insurance, and maybe even without insurance, maybe some preventative measures can keep those things from going wrong.
One of the things that I have encountered are if someone becomes injured, hurt, or something at your wedding, there's so many things involved that could be you could be sued for. And I know some of the venues we go to, they require you carry insurance before you can even step on the grounds.
Right, and it really is a good idea to carry insurance. I think the first thing, is when you are starting to plan your wedding and you make some decisions about the location and different vendors that you're going to use, because you're going to use a vendor for maybe the food, the cake, maybe a DJ, maybe a bartender, the people that provide the clothes at the, if you have tuxedo rental, all kinds of things. So, one thing that you need to think about is where you're having it, and if it is a venue, you need to find out what kind of insurance that they have and what kind of insurance they require, because that can definitely go into the cost of the wedding. Because one thing that we've ran into with the DJ business is some venues make everybody that steps on the place have liability insurance, and if you're having your uncle DJ, he's not going to be expecting to buy insurance. So you need to make sure, because you don't want to be surprised a few days before your wedding, like, oops, none of these people can come onto the property because they don't have insurance and they don't have time to get it. So ask those questions first. Make sure that you know what you're looking at so that you'll be prepared. And then another good thing to do, no matter where you're having your wedding, is when you do start picking out those vendors, find out, first of all, get references for them, and also see if they carry insurance. And if they do carry insurance, get them to give you proof of it. Some of the horror stories that I've heard are before an accident can happen, even before the wedding happens, is people pay a deposit for, say, a caterer or flowers or whatever, and they pick this place because they have good prices. Maybe it's at a location that they're not familiar with, so they go and look at different places. And they've paid a deposit. When it gets time for the wedding, they're no longer in business and they can't find them, and they've lost that deposit. So it's important. It's good to shop prices and make sure that you're getting the best price, but it's also important to make sure that those businesses are reputable and that they're the other people have used them and they've done a good job, and they don't just take your money and run, because unfortunately that happens.
One of the things that also comes to mind, and I know nobody wants to talk about it, but a lot of weddings, they serve alcohol, and it's covering your guests in case of an accident.
Yes, and if you serve alcohol at your wedding, put in the money and hire a bartender that is licensed, that is trained on, has somebody had too much? Do we need to cut them off? That kind of thing. That's something that you do not want to give that job to, again, your uncle, your cousin, whoever. You need to make sure that it's somebody that is a legitimate, licensed, trained bartender, that they know what they're doing. And then as far as the insurance goes, there is such a thing as wedding insurance, and it's not really expensive, and you can get it where it just covers liability. So if you do something, you cause damage to the venue, say that you use candles and they fell over and burnt the place down or something like that, or if one of your guests get hurt, you can buy just the liability portion of it. Or for just a little bit more, you can also buy coverage that would, again, like the vendor failing would be one thing that could possibly be covered. That if you have to hire another vendor at the last minute and pay extra, the wedding insurance might pay for that. It might pay if you have bad weather and you have to move your location somewhere because, it's an outside wedding and it decides to rain. And then, another thing that people don't think about is when you rent those tuxes and you're renting them for all these groomsmen, and especially if you're paying for all that and they don't return all of it or they damage some of it, you're on the hook for that. And that's another thing wedding insurance can pay for. So just for the ones that I've looked at are roughly $400 for all of those coverages, and then the liability only portion is like $200. And it's just peace of mind. You don't want, when you look back at that day over the years, it's good to have funny stories, but you don't want the story to be, oh yeah, that's when Uncle so and so. I'm picking on uncles today. That's when Aunt so and so got hurt and slipped and fell and hurt and sued us. You don't want to look back that day. You want it to be a happy day. And so just that's one thing that people don't think about that they should seriously consider if they're getting married.
I mean, think about it. You're going to pay 5 times that much for a venue.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm just saying, that's not a bad idea
Right.
to look into it.
And if nothing else, just check it out, see what it costs, see what it covers, and then you can make the decision if it's important to you or not. Because I know these don't apply everywhere. Some people get married at their home, or they get married at their church, and none of this goes in. But just at least inform yourself. Like I always say, I can't say it enough, don't find out after the fact. Find out before so you're prepared.
All right, numbers to give you guys a call on website.
Okay, so 549-2525 here in Graham. Or you can come see us on the second floor of the Sierra Bank building, or visit us on the web. And the wedding insurance link is actually on our website. Go to www.bryanins.com, click on personal lines, and then click on wedding insurance over on the right, and it'll tell you all you need to know. You can get a quote right there.
All right, we're talking this morning, our question of the day. If somebody did a movie about your life, and don't say your life is boring, I'm just saying, if someone is going to play you in a movie, who would it be?
I don't know. I've been thinking about that, and I can't even imagine. I guess I'll just say Julia Roberts because we look so much alike. No, I don't know. I have no idea. I can't imagine who would go to what. I'll just play myself. How's that?
All right.
I'll just play myself. But the guy that's in Diners, Drive-Ins, and Drives needs to play you. Y'all look just alike.
The guy?
Yeah, y'all look just alike.
I'm thinking more like Zach.
Well, maybe, but you look personality-wise, the guy from the show.
Okay,
yeah.
We'll see. All right.